to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, M&H Tires, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana Might, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex Rogio, Bob Beck, Bryant Layton, with Donnie Couch and Dar Hawthorne.
Hey, I'm Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live, and we got March meet coverage. We got another jam-packed show for you, but, the girls, I don't think they're coming in tonight. But we do have Lucky Hudson over here.
Hey, I'm on the internet right now. There's a 777 airplane for sale on Craigslist in Vietnam right now.
Oh, really?
Ouch.
Oh, boy. And look who else. The big announcer dude, Bob Beck, one of my heroes, is on the show tonight.
Yeah.
We're together.
He's buff. He's ripped. He's ready for action.
That's right. He's got three-dimensional muscles like this. A three-dimensional hand.
Oh, look at the...
Hey, wait a minute. Don't forget the crew chief of the show, Mr. Bruce Barker.
Yeah.
Barker.
Yes,
He
Mr.
sets the
Barker.
timing. He
Whatever.
adjusts the carburation. He's got the fuel pressure. Everything just right for tonight.
Yeah, but it's always at the wrong altitude.
Oh, man. Well, speaking of altitude, I'm going to be down south. That's right, heading down to Verona Drag Strip. I'm going to be down there April 19th for Match Race Madness. Come on down. 2 out of 3 heads up. It's me against a young lady named Diane driving a black Nova with pink stripes. And, in fact, we're going to have Diane live in studio. We're going to talk about it. 2 out of 3. Wish me luck.
Nice.
And then on April... Let's see, that's the other one. March 22nd.
Too much racing, Bob.
Too
Not
much
enough time.
racing, not enough time. I'm not thinking right tonight. March 22nd and 23rd. See the Curry Rear Ends Hedman Hustler Headers Aeromotive booth at the Pomona Street Rod and Muscle Car event.
Oh, man.
Don't you speak for a living? Isn't
Yeah.
that your job?
You're going to
just
get
brushed-
bashed on the internet tonight.
I just brushed my teeth and I can't do a thing with them.
Put them back in your mouth.
All right, let's try this again. March 22nd, 23rd. See the Curry Rear Ends Hedman Hustler Headers Aeromotive booth at the Pomona Street Rod and Muscle Car event. It's that weekend, the 22nd, 23rd. That's this weekend, right?
Nice. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Good job, Bob.
At Pomona.
Yeah, nicely
How
done.
many takes was it?
Damn.
The following week, March 28th through 30th, NMCA West at Fontana. Yes, Cammie Edelbrock's going to be live in studio also talking about NMCA next week. Man, that's going to be a fun show. That's one week from right now tonight.
Hey, Donnie, you'd like that those pro mods at NMCA, don't you? Joe Lapone.
Joe Lapone. We did it. We went out there, did some coverage at Pomona, ran into an old bud, Joe Lapone. But really started looking at the other cars. I'm a real big fan of those pro mods and NMCA.
I love the door cars. I'm a big door car guy, but I also like all types of racing. One of my favorite kinds of racing in the NHRA divisional and national circuit is Top Alcohol Dragster. Mm-hmm. And I think you ran into one of my favorite drivers recently.
Well, I ran into Chris Demke and Adam Rhodes. They won the Winter Nationals. I know they've been on the show before. They're big fans of the show. And, hey, Bruce, if you'd roll that tape, we got a great Winter Circle interview.
Let's take a look.
Donnie Couch here for Speed Scene Live. First race of the year. Top alcohol champion. Buddy, how's it feel? Chris Demke, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you very much, Donnie. I love driving this car, but the feeling of winning is indescribable. Didn't know how things were going to go this weekend. We had some challenges in testing, and I had some beginning of season butterflies. I screwed up on one of my qualifying runs, but once we got everything dialed in, Adam Rhodes, Jerry Mattern, Mike Demke, the rest of the guys, they got this car on rails. We 20'd them to death this weekend, and ran a string of our team's best runs ever, and I really got high hopes for the rest of the season.
This thing's like a bracket car out there, and pretty much you guys weren't thrashing on it in between rounds. It looked like this thing was really happy this weekend.
Absolutely. This motor is healthy, and that says a lot for our engine program. This is our second season with this chassis. We struggled last year, won a couple, but went to a lot of final rounds and had stuff go wrong. So we've got it all dialed in, looked back through our records, found out what works. That's what was in it this weekend, and our performance shows that we really know what we're doing. So.
Well, I heard it was the Lucky Socks from Adam Rhodes.
It's time. It's time. That's right.
Good job, my friend.
Thank you very much, Tony. I really appreciate that.
Why are you so quiet? You're never quiet. And then you put a camera and a trophy in front of you.
You never know when you're going to win your next one, so it's very humbling to get these. So.
Well, you guys are a great team, and it's a great way to start out the season here at the Winter Nationals. His fault?
It's all his fault. 5-6 years ago, he came over and asked me to come work for him, and look where we're at now. So
yes, he was the missing link. Honest to God, we had all the right stuff.
Well, who holds the bail money, or do you have to? We're having Adam on retainer.
It's a pot we keep in the trailer. So
yeah.
Hey, well, great job to the Peen Ride team.
Right on, Donnie. Hey, can I say hi to Lucky and the guys back there? I miss them. I'd love to come in studio any chance they want to let me back in there. So, right on.
All right. Here's your top alcohol champion with Winter Nationals 2014, the start of the season. What
nice.
a great team.
I'm calling Chris right now. I'm going to set him up to come in on the show. You know, I mean, when he says that in an interview, how do you say no?
Big fan of the show, and those guys have a lot of fun over there. They also run pretty hard. And just talked to his crew chief. They're on their way back from Florida. Didn't have a good day down there, but they finally think they got it figured out, and they're heading to Vegas.
Don't you love it when you talk to a guy and he's like, yeah, I'm so happy I won. And you put a mic in front and he goes, yes, I'm very appreciative.
Yeah.
Ricky Bobby.
Effort.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with my hands. Can't do it. Kind of like when Bob Beck was reading the intro.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Bob. I'm not picking on you, Bob.
No,
okay.
not at all. That's okay.
Now, Donnie, last time I saw you, we were up at Bakersfield. And, of course, Hot Rod Bob Beck was up in the tower. He was announcing. I was racing. Dynamite was racing. We were having a great weekend. And you were working hard for Bang Shift, for the live stream. You were doing a bunch of interviews. Tell us a little bit about how that weekend went.
Well, it was pretty busy. Of course, you get to get up there when the pros are running and do some announcing and have a lot of fun. Of course, it was one of the best races we've seen in a long time for the participants, the fans, the weather. Bob Beck, I'm sure you agree with me on all that. So
It was the best weather we'd had at a March meet in I can't remember how long.
Yeah, but just the whole thing, it was just one of the best. I don't think you can repeat that for a while. But.
Well, didn't you and Dar end up somewhere doing like a recap? Don't we have that here somewhere?
Yeah, you should have a recap in there. We kind of talked about it right after we jumped on the track as soon as it over, and then we went into the interviews of the winners for Speed Scene Live. Even though we were doing Bang Shift coverage, we did our Speed Scene stuff so we can still get our checks from Bruce Parker.
Nice.
There you go.
Hey, Donnie Couch, Dar Hawthorne for Speed Scene Live. We're wrapping up the March meet. What an event it was, Dar.
Man, Donnie, I've just not seen this kind of performance. It's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you see run after run after run, particularly in Funny Car in the 70s with, you know, now they're getting trivial. What's going to be the next one? 60s? Yep.
I don't know. I know that there was good side-by-side racing, minimal downtime for both Top Fuel, Funny Car, and for the first time, AA Fuel Altereds here, and what a show they put on.
Boy, Sullivan's car is out there thumping, but
Dan
Hicks is just what a killer car.
Yeah,
you know?
good-looking car. We saw him in testing. First time he brought the thing down here. Of course, you got Mark Lee, his crew chief down there, and he worked with Dale Poldy. But Tony Bartone winning Top Fuel.
And boy, has he tried to get that for a long time.
Yeah, well, it's they've never sealed the deal. They've run 550s, and they won the Hot Rod Reunion back east, and they've won different races, but never at Bakersfield. Him and Steve Boggs finally, you know.
This is the one that matters.
Yeah, this is the one that matters. First race of the year, and they brought home the hardware. So we congratulate them. James Day, brand new car for Gary Turner, the peddler, bringing it home. That Chris Nance tuned car. Great job there.
And a beautiful Santini car. Gee.
And, hey, how about the psych job he did for Dan Horan on the starting line? Deep staging and threw Dan off.
I think he knew what he was doing. He put out that bulb for a reason. He hadn't done it all weekend.
Yeah, well, I think it's kind of easy to spook Dan Horan there, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows Dan gets a little rattled.
He definitely has his routine, and if anything changes, it always throws him. It threw him up last at Salt Lake City. It threw him.
So, hey, it psyched him out. Dan ran a tenth better. I'm sure he's beating himself up. We don't need to beat him up
Let's
anymore.
not go over there, okay?
Yeah, no, let's not go there. We got enough trouble, but it's been a long week here at Famosa. And for Good Vibrations, he's Dar Hawthorne. I'm Donnie Couch. We're just capping the March meet, and it's time to maybe go back over the grapevine and get back to Southern California.
This was a hell of a show.
The best ever, Dar. The best ever. So, again, thank you for tuning in Speed Scene Live. Thank you for supporting Good Vibrations Motorsports.
You know, Donnie, you guys did such a great job for Bank Shift, for their live stream, and I think that you guys have really improved the whole quality of Bank Shift. You've turned it more into a production than just a guy with a camera. But I wanted to ask you, how about a Chris Crable in that brand new car? Take it out. They ran really well, but he didn't end up in the final, did he?
No, with Buggy Austin?
Yeah.
And the interesting fact, of course, Bob, you know this,
Yeah.
they made it like 12 test runs. They were there on Sunday. They ran. Bucky tried to rent the track on Monday. They wouldn't do it. They said we're just too busy. And they ran on, Wednesday. They ran on Thursday. And then every run. So they had about 12 runs, including qualifying.
Yeah,
but new car. They ran in the 70s. Kept having some issues with the pistons. Talked to Bucky, and he's just trying to run that new Victory Gen 3 car. And they're doing good. It's a good team over there, and a lot of parts in the trailer.
Always a few bugs when you get a brand new car. But how about the other end of the spectrum, cars that are the exact opposite of brand new cars? The Fuel Altereds came out, put on a great show, ran really fast. I didn't think they were going to put those things on Gill.
Well, of course, we had Blake Bowser. We talked about the Fuel Altereds. Normally, we see him up there as in exhibition runs, making singles and stuff, once in a while, a little match race. They were actually in competition, had to qualify. Got the little Wally to take home from the winner's circle. And we watched this kid, virtually never even heard of the guy, Dan Hicks, come down from Oregon. He was testing there on Sunday and making laps and trying to get down the track. And he ended up in the winner's circle. Well, the Fuel Altereds really got a good reception there and put on a great show.
Well, I think we're going to see an interview with Dan Hicks in a little bit. But first, tell us a little bit about Tony Bartone.
Tony Bartone, they haven't won that race. It's one of the quickest cars in the country. They've never, ever been able to win here at Bakersfield, and so they've been struggling. So, they win the deal. Of course, Bartone's out of New York, and I go, hey, Tony, need to get an interview with you for Speed Scene Live for winning the race. What for? Why do you want to interview me? I won the race. What do I want to interview for? But we loosened them up a little. We tried. But I think Bruce, you might have that video handy. We can show Tony Bartone. Don't get too many interviews with him. Hey, Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live here at the March meet. Tony Bartone, finally getting the monkey off your back here at Bakersfield and taking home the hardware.
Thank goodness it wasn't for a lack of trying. The team did well. I drove pretty good today, except in the semifinals. The crew chief had the car flying. The boys did their job, and it was just a dream weekend. The only thing to make it better is if my brother Mike was here. He's back in New York. He needs a hip operation next month, so he's taking it easy right now.
I hope you guys were on the phone with him. Let him know so maybe he can slip a little Coors Light or something there.
Well, on the phone a number of times, and don't forget FaceTime.
FaceTime. Wait, Bartone's doing FaceTime?
Well, don't tell anybody.
Okay, because, that's like breaking news. Tony Bartone doing FaceTime. I mean, come on. That's Justin Bieber stuff.
Hey, well, there's technology here. You got to use it.
All right. Hey, Tony Bartone, March Meet champion. Finally sealing the deal here at the March Meet. I'm Donnie Couch. He's Tony Bartone. Thanks for watching Speed Scene Live.
Thank you.
You warmed him up, Donnie. I was prepared for everything, and we got FaceTime happening over there.
Yeah, Bob Beck stepped up into
I'm getting
the future.
technology. Yeah, I've gotten all the way into the 1990s now.
I got jealous. I'm an iPad. Yeah.
Well, I'm ecologically friendly.
Ecologically friendly. Oh,
I
you're
am
not using paper.
no fossil fuels.
Yeah, well, you got gas.
Methane, yes.
What do you think that is?
Methane.
Hey, Donnie, I'm on thefote.com. I'm reading questions on the crew updater. Hot Rod Bob Beck's actually on it tonight for the first time.
Yes,
Yeah,
wow.
He's talking to people, and
That's technology, Bob.
I never knew how to spell.
Spill?
Yeah. Put on spell check, Bob.
Here's a question for Donnie. What was your favorite moment of this last year's March meet? If you could pick one.
Favorite moment?
Not her.
Yeah, the whole thing was good. We really tried to concentrate on giving the Top Fuel guys their fair share out there, and they really did a good job. But one of my favorite moments, I think, was John Hill didn't qualify, and neither did Mr. Explosive.
Yeah.
And you know what? They came up, they were going to match race each other during eliminations, and they put up some money to see who would win, and they gave that money to charity. Did a pretty good interview with these guys, and had a lot of fun with them. And they weren't too depressed for not qualifying. I'd be suicidal. Biggest race of the year.
Have you ever seen Mr. Explosive quiet?
Well, he took over the mic, and he
Yeah.
said, well, we were doing an interview. John Force came in there on Saturday,
Oh,
couldn't find a parking place, kept driving, came down the return road, parked in front of the tower, came up, I was interviewing him. Mark Sanders heard that, and he came running up because that's his hero.
Yeah.
And he tried to compete with John Force on the interview.
Oh, no.
Sorry, he failed.
No. You turn the microphone on, and John is on. He's hot.
There was, John Force, Robert Hyde, Ron Capps. They were all up in the tower. They all loved the nostalgia movement, and we were just having a blast with them. And they were there, supporting this whole effort. It means a lot to a lot of the guys. And Dale Worsham was racing his car. But,
And Beckman was watching.
yeah,
He was up there watching. It was his son's birthday the next day, so he couldn't stay, but he came up for the smokers barbecue.
nice. I didn't miss any barbecues, by the
No,
way.
can
I
see.
think that's one of my favorite moments.
The
Is,
barbecues.
The barbecues.
well, the Fry family put on a nice dinner, as they always do on Saturday night, and right by my trailer, so I didn't have to wander too far.
I want to thank
Yep.
Reg personally. He makes the best tri-tip I've ever had in my life. The entire Fry family, from the driver of the A-Gas car up to the grandpa, fantastic people, wonderful family. Really enjoyed being with them. But, Donnie, we have to take a commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to not only hear all about Eagle Field and what's happening at the Eagle Field track, but we've got some more interviews. And stay tuned. Donnie Couch, Hot Rod Bob Beck, Bruce Barker, and me, Lucky, right here on Speed Scene.
At Aeromotive, we believe that performance means reliability, longevity, and durability. Being the best is no secret. By utilizing aerospace processes, procedures, technology, in-house engineering, true applications knowledge, and 3 generations of track experience, it's easy to see why we're the best. We take great pride in the fact that everything we sell, we design and make in the USA. See our entire line of fuel pumps and related products by logging on to aeromotiveinc.com. Aeromotive. We know it, we race it, we live it.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's All-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all. And every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all-American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
I'm Alex Roggio, and I get gas every Tuesday night on Speed Scene Live with Bob Beck.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFoat.com.
Welcome back, Speed Scene Live. You can tell it's a jam-packed show when fill in the blank.
That's right, and I agree wholeheartedly, Bruce.
Yes, I heartily endorse this.
I'm Lucky. That's Bruce. We've got Donnie Couch. We got Hot Rod Bob Beck. Bob's got gas tonight.
I do.
Donnie Couch doesn't. That's the difference between the two.
Is that it? Is that what it is?
That's the only difference. But before we get into
I
that,
cut my hair.
Oh,
I'm not going for the mountain man.
You did? Duck Dynasty,
Announcer
heroes.
Dynasty, the new
Yes,
series.
it is.
Announcer Dynasty.
Yeah, I'll start making small wooden microphones for everybody.
Yes.
That quack.
But we would like to talk a little bit about Eagle Field. Now, Eagle Field is a trip back into time, so to speak. It's almost a time capsule of drag racing. And on the phone, we've got John and Rocky. Welcome to the show, you guys.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's great having you guys on. Now, we've got some footage here of the Eagle Field, and when is this event happening? Tell people a little bit about it. How about you, John?
Hey, it's happening this Saturday, the 22nd, up at the Eagle Field, and you might say, where's that? And you'd be right.
All right, where is
that? It's in South Dos Palos, I do believe, what your GPS will say, but you basically go up to the Apricot Inn on 5, go about 10 more miles, Nice Road, hang a right, hang a left, Eagle Field, a training field in World War II. We flag stardom. It's a wonderful thing, and this weekend is we're burning rubber for Sheena. One of the girls in the community, been one of our assistants at all the races over the last 4 years, Rocky. And what's going on in the community, and why are we having a race for Sheena on Saturday?
Well, Sheena's family, and she's a volunteer. We hate using the term volunteer because we're all like family out there. It takes 50 of us to make it all happen at the old runway. But Sheena's an 18-year-old sweetheart of a young lady, just an awesome person, and she's been stricken with lymphoma, and she's battling back, doing pretty well actually. But we just, drag racing is all I know, and so I figured that's what we could do, and we're going to raise some money and have a good time this weekend there in Fireball. Actually, you want to plug in Fireball on your GPS, because if you put in Dos Palos, you'll just get a black hole.
That's true.
You're looking up the address.
Fireball, isn't that a cinnamon-flavored whiskey? Oh, no, that's just me. Huh?
Cinnamon-flavored whiskey.
Hey, what kind of cars will people see at Eagle Field?
Oh,
well,
that's a good deal.
You want me to go with that, John? Want me to run with that?
Yeah.
This particular weekend, because of the benefit for Sheena, we're going to run all year Americans cars, import 73 and earlier. We might have some late model motorcycles out there. It's kind of an open event for us, something that we don't, we do it like once a year or so. But to be a benefit race, we're going to let everybody come out and burn some rubber and try to get a hold of the old runway.
Now, this is the type of an event. We've got video right now. We're seeing a couple of ham dragsters. We just saw Stormy Bird and his dragster go down the track with a huge burnout. This is an event where it's like old school. You got a flag start. Guys just line up and go. Is that pretty much what's going on?
Pretty much.
That's what we're doing.
Till the tires fall off and the asphalt goes away, and then we'll put some more down. I got to tell you, coming from the greatest show on earth to the show, which is Eagle Field, it's a whole lot different. But it's a world of folks doing old school. Our tech is a little different than your NHRA tech is going to be. Older cars can run, and when you get Unsprung Snyder and some of the people that we've talked to that want to come out and make a path, it's a fun deal. This one's for charity in May on the 17th and the 18th, and we do the Fresno reunion and the Lions Club deal, and that's the big deal when Rich Blasco and Stormy Bird and all those folks will be up. We'll call you for that, but if you got some time this weekend, want to go to a drag race in a place where, wow, you've never seen anything like this before, come on out to Eagle Field. You have a great time.
Now, is there any place that people can go to get information, a website, a newspaper ad, anything like that? And is there an admission for spectators?
Rocky,
you handle that, John? Yeah. EagleFieldDrags.com. EagleFieldDrags.com. And we charge adults 14 and older $15 a person to get in, and kids are free. Car and drivers $40, and you just, we want everybody to come out and try to get a hold of the old runway. I have a saying that I kind of coined, and that is, it's got the traction of a parking lot. We don't, if you're looking for fly paper sticky surface to get a hold of and premium suites to sit in, you're at the wrong place. But if you want to sit back in time, go back to the 50s, where racers like Elmer Snyder, Tom Scardino, who managed Salinas Dragways, Rich Blasco, he just loves the place. It is what it is. It's not fancy, but if you want to go through the gate and go, wow, this is a Twilight Zone, Eagle Field's the place to be this Saturday.
Nice. Well, thanks a lot for calling. I'm going to go ahead and post that website on all our social stuff right now. I got it on thefote.com and Facebook and Twitter, so we're going to get the word out. Thanks so much, and we look forward to the next event at Eagle Field. And come on out and support the Drag Race for Sheena. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, man.
All right, well, that's a pretty cool deal. Donnie,
Yeah.
you ever done the Eagle Field deal?
No, I'd like to because, just enjoy all the old cars and the nostalgia. Anything nostalgia, it's really working right now and brings back a lot of memories. Growing up, I seen a lot of these cars race. It was a little tight.
Yeah, it's like Rocky says. I mean, and John said, it's not hardcore NHRA style tech in racing. This is all for the fun of it.
I'd like to go up there just to see John. We haven't seen him in a while.
We haven't.
James Day, new team this year with Gary Turner, new car, new crew chief. Kind of changed the whole act over there. Made a lot of test runs. Really never got it all the way down the track till the last couple runs, but had some good early numbers. We're in the tower looking at the 60-foot and 330, and we knew when that car made a full run, it was going to be, one of the best. He ran some 70s and pulled some good driving and got to the finals. And Dan Horan had 10th on the whole field out there. He was running in the 60s, and he was kind of, taking his time staging. And James Day rolled in and put the top bulb out. It kind of rattled Dan, and James left on him. That new Peddler car, Chris Nance horsepower. Brought it to the winner's circle. And, hey, Bruce, I think we got the winner's circle interview out there.
Hey, Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live. We're wrapping up the March meet, and James Day debuting Gary Turner's new car here, Chris Nance horsepower. How's it feel, my friend?
I can't even put it into words. With everybody that's won this event over the years, like Beetle and Garlitz and Perdome, to be a part of that is just amazing. I can't thank Gary Turner and Chris Nance and the boys enough. I mean, everybody worked so hard, and Gary, I'm pretty sure he hadn't slept since we started working on this thing, but what an amazing feeling.
Yeah, well, it's Gary Turner. He loves to just stay in the shop. I don't even think he goes home. He whittles on stuff and really has a passion for all the cars, but he really loves it. Gary, you love these funny cars, huh?
Oh, absolutely. I ran alcohol dragsters for years, but then when I got into this nostalgia stuff, I mean, it just took me hook, line, and sinker. And you've been to my place, and I sit there and I carve and make brackets all day long.
Yeah, well, when we wanted to get Gary off our back, we'd say, hey, Gary, whittle this out for us. And he'd go, okay, we'll do it, and he'd have it done. But, hey, Chris Nance, great job. You guys just got the whole team together, new car, new driver, and for Gary Turner, and he coming in, and good job, my friend.
Oh, thank you. It's Gary's, like I said, he's given all of us a great opportunity, giving us the stuff to work with. We have a great race car. We just stuck with a plan, came out here and did our deal. We lucked out on a couple of things. We'll take that. But you've been around drag racing enough to know there's the highs and then there's the lows, but this is one of the highs.
Yeah, and certainly being in the tower all weekend through testing and qualifying, we saw the early numbers. You guys really never made it to the finish line. I said, man, that's my pick right there because the early numbers were good. And once you got it down through there, you went in the 80s and then the 70s, and then bringing home the hardware, James Day.
It's you're in the final round. You better be ready for it, man. And Horan was taking some time going in. I said, all right, let's game on. Let's do it. So I went in deep.
Wait a minute. We all know Dan Horan can get spooked pretty easy, and I think we didn't see you do that move all weekend, buddy. So that must have been a planned deal, but whatever it is, worked.
There was no plan, I was there with the clutch out, and he was taking his time going in. I said, all right, let's go.
Well, either way, it worked, and James Day and Gary Turner, Chris Nance taking home the March Mead Trophy, and congratulations. Thanks for being on Speed Scene Live, and hey, we'll have this live Tuesday night, so check us out.
This is cool. It's good to see Nance back. I haven't seen Nance.
Yeah, Chris Nance, he's a good guy. We worked on the Geronimo funny car way back, and Mike Burkhart was driving. That's where I first met him. Besides being a great mechanic and crew chief, he's a lot of fun to be around.
Yeah, he's in that case.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, I got a question on thefote.com. What's your favorite car show to attend each year?
Every year for about 30 years now, I have gone to the LA Roadster Show. It's on Father's Day weekend at Pomona. The Car Club is celebrating its 50th car show this year.
Dang.
It's going to be an amazing show. As a matter of fact, come the end of May, beginning of June, I'm going to have someone from the LA Roadster Show here with us to talk about that show, because the LA Roadster Club has got a heritage that goes back to just right after World War II.
And you got to have a Roadster to be a member.
You got to have a Roadster. That means no roll-up windows, no hard roofs. It's got to be a convertible or a Roadster, not a convertible. The top does not fold back into the body. It's got to be a Roadster with no roll-up windows. And the last Ford that is qualified as a Roadster is a 1939, because they still had a rumble seat.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I believe. We'll get that checked out from the LA Roadster guys. But Jack Stewart, one of the guys that's a 50-year member or a lifetime member, is a friend, and I may try and have him come in here. 86 years young, and he still drives his Roadster. He drove it down to the Dr. George show in Palm Desert last year in the snow.
Wow.
And he just says, well, it's a car. It doesn't shrink in the rain. It doesn't shrink when it gets wet. I'm just going to drive it. And he drives it everywhere.
Well, I don't know if he had any gas on the trip, Bob, but what
Not
kind
as
of
much as
gas
I
do
do.
you have for us tonight?
Well, tonight we're going to talk about, again, I'm Bob Beck, and we've got gas here on Speed Scene Live. We're going to talk about the days before organized drag racing, because that was the days when road racing was king, and the guys coming back from Europe after World War II were getting sports cars. They were getting the British sports cars. They were getting the German sports cars. They needed someplace to race. So Paramount Ranch, it's in the Agora Hills area, just past the San Fernando Valley here in L.A. It was kind of out in the nowhere area. There weren't homes around there. Beautiful area in the Santa Monica Mountains, and they started to build a track there. As a matter of fact, one of the guys was a top racer, Ken Miles. He went out there in a Volkswagen Beetle, drove around in the dirt, and planned the track. They started in 1955, built the track in 56, and had their first races in 1956. It was a beautiful track in a great setting, and we've got some photographs of it and some of the sports cars going through. And some of the top people at the time, including people driving hot rods. If you look at the fourth car back on this picture, that's a hot rod. It's a 23T. And the guy decided to go road racing and ran in the specials class. There it is.
Wow.
And, I mean, if you could get it around the track, you could do it. Max Barchowski, and I believe that's the way you pronounce his name, he ran a wild one, home-built sports car. A lot of the guys ran a lot of the European cars. Dan Gurney was there. They also ran what became NASCAR. They ran stock cars there. Here's another. Now, this is Old Yeller. This is Barkowski's car. This is the one he built in the garage. It's a bunch of old hot rod parts put together, made into a sports racer. Now, a lot of the track is still there, but a lot of it, and we'll talk about that in a moment, is why it's no longer still there or racing. It only raced for 2 years. It was considered a driver's track. You had to be a driver to get around it. It was very technical and very difficult. As you can see, he's spinning out there on that turn. And you see the guardrails? Typical guardrails that you see on mountain roads or on some roads today. That doesn't work well with race cars, and that was part of the demise. Now, looking at this is not a Cobra, guys. Looks like one, but it is the basis of what the Cobra became. It's the AC Bristol, or the Ace.
Okay, yeah.
So it's same heritage, same company. But there were so many cars. TR2 in the background there.
Yeah.
Mercedes right there. There were $100,000 cars at that time that are now $1 million cars. There were factory cars. Dan Gurney won there. I believe Sam Hain. Roger Ward, Indy champion. The year before he won Indy, he won at Paramount Ranch. Paramount Ranch was a very technical course. We've got some pictures of what the setup is, but as you look at it, you see that Porsche right there? That, I believe, is a Little Bastard.
The one that James Dean was in?
The one that James Dean killed himself in. And he was a regular event racer. He ran Santa Barbara, he ran Paramount, he ran Pomona. And Paramount Ranch, though, was the first track built for road racing, purpose-built in Southern California in 1955. Later, you had Riverside Raceway that was built, and before there was drag racing at Pomona, there was road racing. What is now the pits used to be the road course. And there is a bridge and tunnel that you can see as you leave Pomona through the south exits. That is the tunnel they used to drive under. This track also had a tunnel. It had a very high-speed straightaway. Now, as they come out of this turn, if you make a mistake, there's the problem, the tunnel.
Oh, man.
You mean the edge of the tunnel?
Yeah, well, yeah, the edge was a real bad problem, and unfortunately, a couple of drivers found it. Now, in the last race for this track in 1957, on the first day of racing, a Corvette impaled itself on that metal guardrail we saw in one of the other shots. The driver lost his leg.
Wow.
The next day, a driver hit that same spot and was killed. The next day, as Gurney was winning the pro race, another driver lost it coming out of this turn, went into the tunnel, nosed in, and was ejected from the car. So the three major accidents on the last ever race that was done there in 1957, 2 fatalities, they closed the track down.
So that was the reason.
That was the reason. Yeah. It was a beautiful track, though. The setting is beautiful. It was a high-speed course, but because of the angles going over the bridge, they ran the track in the opposite direction that they would normally run a track in the U.S. So it was run in the directions that they would run a European race. The problem was when Ken Miles set the track up, it was not set up to run in the direction that they're running now. So speeds and angles, including one of the bank turns, were going in the opposite direction that the track was initially set up for.
Jeez.
So it created a problem. But if you look at the track, look at the tree as close to the side as it is. And I saw pictures. I was up at the track last weekend. Got a tour of it it's a national park now. And I got a tour of the track. There is very little of the original track left. Probably about 2/3 of it still remains. It hasn't been paved or maintained since it shut down in 1957. A lot of the buildings are still there. One of them had to be shortened because some of the guys, like this guy, didn't make the turn. Now, the worst cars for making that turn were the Corvettes because they came out of the straightaway and they'd run out of brakes. And at that time, drum brakes. Not everybody had disc brakes. There were only a few cars that had disc brakes at that time. Well, when you missed that turn, you found the building. And after a while, they finally tore down the building.
Isn't that when they invented the drive-thru?
The drive-thru, yes. It was a drive-thru. Luckily, in the first 2 years of racing, there were no serious injuries, and they continued racing. The last race, though, and it became the last race probably because of that accident. But it was there. That's the bank turn. It was just a neat place. The area around it is overgrown. Now, the other problem they found out, now, the first 2 years that it was there, it didn't rain too much. However, since then, we have had, I know we're in a drought now, but we had heavy rains. That's the natural runoff for the hills for the Santa Monica Mountains. So part of the track washed away the third year or so. But it was a beautiful track, a lot of history. They ran stockers there. They ran sports cars, whether they were amateurs to the pro ranks. Later, it became more notorious for movies. And you saw Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, or whatever she was.
Sure.
The town is there. That is the town. There was other movies that were done there, and some of you might remember some of these. Some of them were very, very popular and really fine art. It was like The Devil's Hairpin in 1957. It's a road racing movie. I'm going to try and find it. How to Stuff a Wild Bikini. Now that has to be one of the
I remember that movie.
Yeah.
Fine art.
Fine art. Yeah. Road Racers in 1959. Then you go into the 60s, and you've got Spin Out starring Elvis Presley. The Munsters Go Home. The Love Bug and Herbie Rides Again were all shot there.
Wow. Now, that's a pedigree right there.
Now, you can go on a tour at this facility. It's Paramount Ranch. It's still there. It's off the 101 freeway. Now, that was another problem. There were no freeways back when this track was built. It's a 1 or 2 lane road that parallels the mountain that gets there from what was Ventura Boulevard. So it was hard to get in and out. The first race had 2,000 people. The last race had well over 6,000 people that they could count. There were no fences around there. You can see spectators very close. That was the only safety fencing right there.
Now, those cars were really moving.
They were, yeah.
How do they have such great video for being in the late 50s? Is this like 8mm or something?
This is probably 8mm, and someone caught that. They kept it, preserved it, and they
I mean, it looks great.
It really does. In fact, if you notice on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see the sprockets in the film.
Oh, is that what? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see it now. Little white spots on
Yeah, these cars are incredible, and whoever shot this did a fantastic job.
Can you imagine editing this stuff? It was filmed, for Pete's sake.
This was great, and I looked at the track, and I can remember reading things about this when I started getting into cars as a kid. And I saw these. This is what enticed me into cars, was road racing, and that's where I started. My first legitimate racing was road racing. So this was just the tip of the iceberg to watch this. I loved it, and that's what I did for the first 15, 20 years of my racing before I started doing drag
I would
racing.
have not even thought they had cars back then. Bob,
Yeah, well, you know, we still
age.
had the metal or the we hammered them out or rock wheels. It was a little rough, but the shock absorbers would absorb most of that. No, we didn't have those either. But
rock
it was
wheels.
great racing. Rock wheels.
Okay.
The Flintstones. You know,
Isn't that
remember
right,
us.
Fred? Well, Bob, great job, great segment. Paramount Ranch, 1955 to 1957.
Right.
And amazing footage to boot. And all these cars are all now worth over $1 million.
Oh, yeah, you can find look at that. A Gold Wing Mercedes. There's a 300 SL racer. I mean, Jaguars.
I'm looking at first-year Corvettes, and well, maybe the Triumph's not worth that much. But
Oh yeah, the Triumphs are, because I had a few of those, and I'd love to get one, but it's more in my house now.
Well, let's take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about other cars that don't go straight, the other cars that go in circles. That's Top Fuel Altereds with Dan Hicks.
Yes.
For over half a century, Curry rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Curry lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Curry gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Curry expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Curry's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Curry Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies. And other underside parts, like correct link steering systems, keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Curry rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at curryenterprises.com. Everyone in the armed forces that has served to defend our great country and our freedom, all of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you. Slicks or DOT. M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online. Mention the Speed Scene and save 5%. Get the best racing tires great personal service, and save 5%, go to MANDHTires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. MNHTires.com.
Take two. Okay.
Take two.
Hi, I'm Chris Dempke, driver of the Peen Right Top Alcohol Dragster. I just won the Winter Nationals, and you're watching Speed Scene Live. Woo!
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFoat.com.
Welcome back. Man, that Chris guy, I wish he'd cheer up a little bit. You know?
He's so morose.
Yeah, he's a little laid back. You know, come on, Chris, let's wake up. Hey, I'm Lucky. There's Bob. There's Donnie. There's Bruce. The crew's here. We miss Diana White. She's not with us tonight. She's out on assignment, but she will be back next week. And in addition, we will have Cammie Edelbrock. That's right. Her dad's owns some automotive company.
Edelbrock.
But she is promoting the NMCA West. She is the marketing person, and she will be in studio. We will also have some more people from NMCA in studio, and we will be talking about the NMCA West at Fontana, which is coming up at the end of the month. Also, NMCA West at Pomona. Oh, man, it was great last year. Make sure that you enter early because you want to be part of this great event. You know, Bob just did a great deal about road racing and cars going all over, and Donnie, you were doing an interview with one of the Fuel Altered drivers.
Yeah, well, the Fuel Altered class, like I say, the first year they had that where they were in competition. You asked me earlier what was one of my favorite moments, and having to think about that was when the Pure Hell Fuel Altered ran the Winged Express Fuel Altered, and that really brought back, you know, a little date and time there from my childhood. But hey, we watched Dan Hicks as a rookie driver, first time out there, of course led by Mark Lee and the crew, and he took it all the way to the winner's circle. And Bruce, I think you've got the video on that.
Hey, Donnie Couch for Speed Scene Live. We're here at the March Meet, Victory Circle, and it's the first time they had a AA Fuel Altered class. Most of the other times were all exhibition runs, but Dan Hicks, we don't even know where you came from, buddy. We saw you testing. We know this is your first event in a AA Fuel Altered. Yeah. Beautiful car. Of course, Mark Lee heading up the deal, and you had good power. But how's it feel, my friend?
There's hard to even find words to describe it. You know, I mean, I'll admit, tears in my eyes. Just a weekend that I just can't believe it.
Yeah,
can't believe it. Friends and family. I'm just lost for words, you know. A lot of hard work. I built this car 12 years ago. Just didn't have an opportunity to run it. Good friend, longtime friend, John Kegley, asked me if I wanted to come out here and run this inaugural race. And
well, hey, listen, buddy. I know you're getting a little choked up here, but you got the right to, man. Wow. That's some stout stuff to come out here. First ever AA Fuel Altered champion at the March Meet. Yeah. Of course, all the funny cars, all the dragsters, all the other classes. People were standing on their feet for these AA Fuel Altereds and this beautiful car here, and the Winged Express and the Pure Hell. And now there's Dan Hicks, buddy. So how's that feel? That's got to feel pretty good.
Fantastic, fantastic. I'd love to thank my lovely wife, Karen. My boys, Donovan and Blaine, my dad, Steve, my brother, Steve.
Hey, great job. It's a family affair, and we congratulate you, and thanks for being on Speed Scene Live, and hey, we're proud of you, buddy.
This is good.
All right, let's go have a beer. Let's go have a beer. Hey, thanks for watching Speed Scene Live. He's Dan Hicks.
Thank you.
He won his first ever event.
Yeah. I'm Dan Hicks. You're watching Speed Scene Live, and I just won the March Meet. Woo!
Nice.
Brilliant.
Wow,
That's cool.
You know, Donnie, that was a great interview, and you know, the emotion is really very real. You know, talk about a reality show. This is a guy that years and years, hard work, dedication, family, friends helping him out, and he wins at the March Meet, one of the most prestigious races of the year. I think I'm getting a little choked up.
Well, I was getting choked up there. I mean, there's so much effort that goes into these cars. And I don't care if it's a funny car, Top Fuel Dragster, the Altereds, NE1s, NE2s. I watched my neighbor, Jason Franchev. He won the NE2 championship last year, and he came out, lost first round, a little bit of a wake-up call. But we had talked about it. This is a humbling sport for everybody, and a lot of effort goes into it. So with that comes a lot of emotion.
Well, it's a great job, and I like the fact that he was real, he was heartfelt, he was emotional, and then at the end,
yeah. Well, I had to, kind of bring him out of that because he started making me emotional because I've been in those situations, and I just had to shake him up a little because I was getting a little choked up too, and I knew if I didn't finish the interview, Bob Beck was standing by with another microphone to push me out of the way.
Yeah. Of course. This is a very competitive arena here.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. Ask Mike English.
Well, there's so many famous people in drag racing, and now Dan is now part of history because he won that event. But with all the success of the Snake and the Mongoose movie last year, and it's now available on DVD. So a lot of us are buying the DVD copies so that we can watch it at home and watch it at the races. But you got a chance to talk to one of the legends of drag racer who really is in the history books forever.
Well, you talk about getting choked up. I worked for McEwen from when I was 14 years old on and traveled in those truck and trailers and lived through the Hot Wheels days. So it was really, it's emotional. We were at Barrett-Jackson with Prudhomme selling those rigs and those cars. And, there's some tears came out. I looked like Dan Hicks then, so I was feeling that. But, hey, Bruce, you got a little interview. We were doing Bank Shift live down there, but we got McEwen live. So it's a pretty good interview.
Donnie Couch for Bank Shift Live, 3-day coverage of the March meet, and we run into the legendary Tom the Mongoose McEwen. Tom, welcome to Bank Shift Live.
Thanks, Donnie, for having me on here. I watched you guys yesterday live on the TV. Proc was watching it from Vinolia, and we really enjoyed it.
Well, I don't know. Proc's supposed to be working. Is he supposed to be on the internet watching stuff?
No, well,
it's a good thing Joe P is not alive, right?
No, good. Yeah, don't tell anybody he was watching.
Tom, you're here for the reunion. You're here for the March meet, but this weekend's kind of special. You've got the release of the DVD of the Snake and Mongoose movie.
Brand new. We're the first ones to have it. It's going. I guess you can get it on the internet or watch it on there, but we're the first ones to have them for sale. Wanted to get them up here for the fans, and everything. So we got them. We just got them and. Sign them or unsigned, but we'll have them here if the guys want to have them.
And is one of the actors, Richard Blake, is he coming up here?
Supposedly Saturday he'll be here signing.
Wow, that'll be a nice little addition to have.
We were going to get Prudhomme, but we couldn't afford him.
No, nobody can. I heard, though, if Roland runs good, that he's going to make an appearance on Sunday.
That's what he told me, too, so let's hope that happens.
Hey, Tom. The Hot Wheels deals, the movie, the two trucks going on Barrett-Jackson. We were all there. Pretty emotional day for that. What'd you feel about that?
I felt the same way you did. It was it's like getting rid of two of your family members, but it was fun, and Hendrix bought them, and a lot of history, and they'll be in his museum in South Carolina and North Carolina where his place is, and it was a fun week over there watching that, though.
Yeah, and hey, our buddy the Snake, he got a little wound up just like the old days, huh?
Yes, he did. He got a little excited over there, and then he wasn't going to sell them. Then he did sell them, so he finally sold them. But he had a lot of time and effort put into those. I mean, they were beautiful, and so he had a good time over there, though.
Well, at least it went to another racer, and people will be able to view the trucks and trailers and the cars. And but right now, it's all about the Snake and Mongoose DVD. You can get them, Tom. Where can they get those? Can they get them online anywhere or through your hobby store? Or?
SnakeandMongoose.com. Facebook has them. You can get them at Prestige Hobbies in Anaheim, California, where we have a bunch of stuff there. And all of the Walmarts, Kmarts, all the different stores are going to have them with it right away, so they'll be every place.
Okay, well, listen, He's Tom McEwen. I'm Donnie Couch. We're standing here at Formosa, California, legendary track. And I got to stand with Tom McEwen, 1972, Top Fuel champion here. And I got a picture of it with you and Jack Williams fanning out those $100 bills. And a lot of history here. And Tom, we wish you well this weekend. And hopefully you can sell a bunch of those. I know you're going to be autographing them. You already got a lineup over there. So we will not keep you any longer.
Thanks, Donnie. You're doing a good job, kid, on this TV thing, I think.
Well, we're trying. We're trying to make a living out there. But for Bank Shift Live, Donnie Couch, Tom the Mongoose McEwen, folks.
Nice job.
You know, Donnie, you even had a chance to talk to one of the actors that was in that high-budget Snake and the Mongoose movie.
Yeah, Richard Blake, of course. He's been in a lot of movies, and he's been on CSI and a lot of TV shows, and he's got some new stuff coming up. And he was actually up there for the release of the DVD, signing the DVDs with Tom McEwen. So
cool.
If you were there Saturday and bought that DVD, yeah, it's going to be a collector's item, wouldn't you think, Bob Beck?
I think so. I've got 15 of them. No, I've got 2.
I've seen them on Craigslist.
Yeah, not yet.
Unfortunately, they also say Bob Beck written on them.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of a deal breaker.
But I did get the big banner, too.
I think we can roll a video of that.
Yeah, do that.
Donnie Couch for Bank Shift Live, 3-day coverage here at the March Meet at Formosa, California. Look who we run across now, Richard Blake, star of the Mongoose and Snake movie. And, hey, it's great that we've seen you in a lot of movies, a lot of TV shows, but great to see you out here at the March Meet.
No, that's right, man. You got to come where the fans are at and come appreciate the culture. That's been the great thing about the movie. It's getting to be involved in the real-life stuff, too.
Well, you got to work. A lot of times you play somebody, you don't get to meet that character and actually get coached by him. But what do you think of our boy, the Mongoose, so far?
Oh man, he is a legend, man. He's a living legend, and he's a great guy. He's over here with me today, signing autographs, meeting people. Still, what is he, like 110 years old or something crazy like that?
190. Yeah, and he won't get out of the car because he's eating too many burritos there. With him and Tom Prock, they go out to eat every night. But hey, we're not here to talk about that right now, about the Mongoose. We're here to talk about the release of the DVD, Richard.
Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, that's right. April 8th right now, it's on demand, it's on DirecTV. I mean, the DVD's here, kind of like an incentive here just ahead of time. Then April 8th it'll be in stores everywhere, Target, Walmart, the whole deal. So
I talked to the Snake. He said this is not an authorized debut up here. He's a little upset he's not up here, but the fans are getting a real treat as they get McEwen's autograph and your autograph.
Well, as the Snake knows, as McEwen knows, as I know, it's all about the fans. Without the fans, doesn't matter, so we're here for them.
All right, so listen, folks. If you're not here at Formosa, you're not going to get this today, but look for it online. And I seen it for DirecTV pay-per-view. Is already out. And, hey, he's Richard Blake. I'm Donnie Couch. And you're watching Bank Shift Live 3-day coverage. And next up, we've got Top Fuel action for you and Funny Car coming up. Round number 1 this morning.
Hey, Donnie, you showed a ton of legends tonight. Legends of the past, the Snake and the Mongoose, and then all these legendary drivers. But what about the future legends?
You got future, of course.
Any?
Yeah, we got a video we can roll. It's Cade Poe, Maverick Malloy, both winning out there on the junior dragsters. They're like 11, 12 years old. And one thing about them, they started winning when they put the Speed Scene Live stickers on their car.
Yeah.
So, Bruce, I caught him up there working on Dale Worsham's car. I busted him. You might want to roll the video.
Now, was this at Irwindale?
No, this is at Formosa. They're crew members on the car.
Cool.
Let's take a look.
Donnie Couch for Bang Shift Live. 3-day coverage of the March Meet here at Formosa, California. Hey, look who I found in Dale Worsham's pit area. Cade Poe, Maverick Malloy, Junior Dragster Racing Champions. You guys are out here supporting Dale this weekend, Cade?
Yeah, we're just polishing up the car and just sitting around and watch how they do it.
Now, I see your dad working. Is he trying to get some extra money so he can put some more parts in that Junior Dragster of yours?
No, he's just, he didn't really expect to actually get down and dirty. He thought he was going to be polishing stuff.
I never seen your dad work before at Fireman. They don't really work, so it's nice to see them get dirty. Now, Maverick, your dad's working on the car too. Does your mom know he's going to be getting extra money this weekend?
No, I don't think she does, but yeah, it's an honor to be out here, and it's interesting how they do it.
Now, there's child labor laws out here, so is Dale paying you guys?
No.
No? Okay. Dale slipping you any money, little cash?
I wish.
Now, who wants to get in this thing and drive it?
I really would like to when I'm older. I'd love to grow up and be able to do this for a living. It'd be a great thing to do.
Okay, do you want to get in this thing? Or you gonna stick with dragsters?
I would do whatever I want, whatever I can do.
Well, you better be nice to your mom and dads, because I think they make those decisions. But hey, I'm Donnie Couch for Bank Shift Live. Cade Poe, Junior Dragster Champion. Maverick Malloy, they're working over here at Del Worsham's and child labor laws. We're going to look into that with our attorneys. But check out Bank Shift Live for live coverage all weekend here.
Donna, you did a great job, both you and Dar, for Bank Shift, for their live streams at the events. And we support Bank Shift. We're just so happy that they're out there doing that so that while we race, everybody could watch us, you know. It's kind of like what Clint Eastwood said about the Navy. But anyway, go on.
Well, you know, the deal with Bank Shift is we're still going to do the speed scene coverage and get it out there to our fans. But, hey, we had a great weekend. And I really want to say, you know, we missed our cameraman, Ken Hathcock. He's going through some medical deals right now and a little under the weather, but he's going to be back. So, Ken Hathcock, we miss you out there and hope to see you soon.
Bob, where will you be next?
I am going to Irwindale Thursday night. We're going to have our street tracks as usual. And then Thursday night, the Can-Am NASCAR race at Irwindale.
Nice. I will be out at Pomona. What?
Yeah.
Pomona?
See, now I messed that up. Now you are.
That's right. Yeah, I must have drank some of the water. I will be out there for the Street Rod and Muscle Car show at Pomona. Come on by and see me. I'll be in the Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Headers, Aeromotive booth all weekend. Bob, stop that. You're messing me up. You're messing me up.
It's Aeromotive.
Aeromotive, yes. I remember.
Jeez. So now they're going to be mad. Thanks a lot, Bob.
No, I'll straighten it out with them for you.
All right, well, look, we're out of time. If you've looked at the clock, I don't know, it kind of flew. I looked at it just now and said, geez, man, we got to get the Encore show started. Donnie Couch, good to see you in studio tonight.
Thanks for having me again.
Hot Rod Bob Beck, great footage from Paramount, man.
Thank you.
And Lucky, we'll see you again next week.
I'll be in here next week with Diana Might, with Cammie Edelbrock, and we're going to talk about NMCA West.
All right, coming up next, the encore presentation of tonight's show, the end of which you're watching right now. Thanks so much for joining us. We're back in 1 week right here.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFote.com.